Welcome everyone, and thank you for joining this session. Now, throughout last year, I delivered individual webinars covering the uniFLOW Online releases as they became available. Now, today's session focuses on the most important changes released across 2025 and what they mean for your customer conversations. This is a short session, around about 10 to 15 minutes, designed as a wrap-up rather than a deep dive. These improvements focus on flexibility, security, and this simplicity, helping customers reduce IT effort. So the full release details remain available on the NTWare partner site, so I encourage you to look at those for the finer details. So let's start by looking at the year's key features together. So in 2025, we introduced easier roaming for traveling users, modern Windows printing without drivers, a stronger device support across brands, and clearer ways to manage cloud connections and also budgets. Now, these changes make uniFLOW Online more adaptable and easier to manage. I think you will find that out later. Now, by understanding these updates, you can show customers how they reduce complexity and improve that all-important productivity for their users. Now, let's start looking at the updates introduced in 2025.1 release. So this section covers the updates introduced in 2025.1 release. We'll look at the smart client profile switching, improvements to the scanning to multiple cloud connections, and updated card and PIN management options. So let's start with the smart client profile switching. So in the past, roaming required manual configuration or help desk support, which you can imagine could be a little bit of a nightmare for these environments. The bottom line is that now Smart Client can store multiple tenant profiles. So traveling users can simply select the right one before printing. They may have different printing policies in each different location. Now, this reduces IT tickets and keeps work moving, ideal for companies with regional tenants or subsidiaries. Administrators maintain control through reporting, whilst users gain the freedom to print anywhere, anytime, without any problems. So next, let's look at managing multiple cloud connections. Now, many organizations operate more than one Microsoft 365 environment after maybe some acquisition, mergers, or restructuring. Now, uniFLOW Online now connects multiple Microsoft 365 instances to a single tenant. And the multi-tenant app helps streamline the actual registration for the users. Now, refreshing application secrets no longer forces reauthorization, which was a bit of a problem for many users. So users now can keep working uninterruptedly because this is no longer a requirement. Now, applying access lists during scan profile creation also prevents unnecessary notification emails. We have many of those, I'm sure, bombarding us every day. So with this particular update, we can help prevent all these unnecessary notifications for the user. Now let's review improvements to card and PIN management. So with card registration is now simpler and actually more secure. Users can generate their own registration codes, while administrators can block PIN-based registration and also set limits on the number of card identities per user. A confirmation setup improves security and prevents misuse, and deactivated accounts, no longer registered cards, for example, are in the system. So with identity management improved, let's move to the modern printing. Now this section covers the updates introduced in 2025.2. We'll look at the virtual print app, the Sharp embedded app, and scanning directly to net documents. So let's start with the virtual printer app. So with Windows protected print mode, it's the future of many customers. It's something which is being rolled out aggressively at the moment. The virtual printer app enables driverless printing and supports ARM-based laptops. It's available from the Microsoft Store and works without the Smart Client where that's preferred. So there may be some instances, some rollouts where the Smart Client isn't actually required, but the virtual printer app does the job with driverless printing. Now, this simplifies deployment and aligns with the modern Windows printing standards. Now, for mixed fleets, device coverage also was expanded. So let's look at the Sharp integration. So with Sharp embedded applets brings Sharp devices into the uniFLOW Online world with a consistent interface across brands. It operates securely in a zero trust network, which is really important, helping customers standardize the user experience and reduce training requirements. So a nice introductory there for Sharp into the uniFLOW Online world of printing. So now let's see how scanning into document systems became faster and more accurate. Now, with legal teams, often they need structured filing with the correct metadata handling. From the Canon device, users can now select the right cabinet and folder and scan directly into net documents. So they can basically browse these environments. So this actually reduces manual steps, and also because of the metadata, it prevents some errors occurring. Now, this speeds up case preparation and improves the compliance within this particular sector. So now let's look at remote troubleshooting, or even troubleshooting. Now, this section covers the updates introduced in 2025.3 release. We'll look at remote device access for Mac, printing from a public or shared Mac, and easy submission to the SysHub print room. All very exciting. So with that, let's start with the remote device access for Mac. Now, with help decks, they can now troubleshoot supported Canon devices remotely from Mac OS as well as Windows environments. Sessions run over a secure tunnel, which, for want of a description, a protocol, secure protocol. So there's no need for VPN setups. Now, this cut costs, speeds recovery, and keeps users productive. So let's see how the process actually works. So from the uniFLOW Online device list, the admin can initiate a secure connection, which opens the device access client. They can then launch the Canon remote user interface or the local user interface to view settings or error states directly as if they were stood right next to the device. Sessions can be ended centrally for control, which is a great security feature there. So alongside support, we've also expanded services for shared Macs. So let's see what that's all about. Now, with public printing, it's now simple on shared Macs, such as in libraries and with using the library iMacs. When a user prints, a prompt captures their email or their card number if the institution supplies a card, linking the job to their identity. Now, at the device, they authenticate as per normal with a PIN or the card to release their job securely. It really is as simple as that. So with that, let's simplify print room submissions. This is a really exciting one too. Now, for production quality output, users select the uniFLOW Online printer. They apply the finishing in the universal driver and pick the print room queue from the universal output queue. So with that, as you can imagine, there's no uploads, there's no hot folders, and there's no USB drives, just a guided flow that saves time and ensures accuracy and, that more important, user productivity. So with that, now let's look at the device and how we deal with updates. So with this section, it covers the updates introduced in the last series, which was released, which was the 2025.4. We'll look at the one button MEEP update process, adding funds using mobile devices, which was something which was required quite strongly from the field, and the new payment provider PayTrail. So let's start with the one-button MEEP update process. So you can imagine keeping device apps up to date is essential for security and reliability. So with that, when an update is available, an admin clicks update now, and the device updates its uniFLOW Online applets automatically when the device is actually idle. Now, this predictable process reduces the maintenance effort from IT and avoids any downtime for the users, which is absolutely fantastic. So with that, let's improve the user experience for payment top-ups. Let's see how that works in 2025.4. So students and pay for print users can now add funds from their mobile phones, either via a simple pay page on their website or directly in the print and scan app itself. Now, with that, balances update immediately, institutions can set limits, and optional receipts can be enabled too. Fantastic, some happy students. So with that now, we're going to talk about the regional needs. We also added a new payment provider. So with the Finnish organizations, PayTrail brings familiar local payment methods under one provider. Alongside PayPal, Firewire, QuickPay, this additional solution helps universities and businesses increase successful top-ups by offering trusted options within that particular region under one umbrella. Fantastic. So, as I said, that was a whirlwind tour and wrap up of 2025 releases. So let's wrap up with a quick summary. So to recap, 2025 delivered easier roaming for its users, clearer cloud management, self-service for cards, modern driverless printing, a wider device support with Sharp, faster scanning internet documents, remote troubleshooting, I'm having trouble saying that word, from Mac OS, public printing on shared Macs, simple print room submission, one-click device updates, mobile top-ups, and local payment options. Now, with all of that, in addition, at the start of this year, 2026, uniFLOW Online was recognized by the Keypoint Intelligence with a BLI 2026 PIC Award for the 8th consecutive year, underlining continued leadership in cloud-based print and scan management. Everybody should know this. Further details are available in the press release on the NTWare partner site and also the website. So with that, I thank you very much for your time. Thank you for joining, and I will see you throughout the year on our webinars. Take care.